Welcome everyone. This is Araceli, Transition Wealth Advisor and Real Estate Investor in the US and Canada. Today is my chat with Colette. So Colette, can you introduce yourself and tell us what we're talking about today?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Colette Raba. I am a residential real estate broker in the GTA. That's Toronto, Canada, for all of you international people out there. Today, we are kind of, just having a very honest chat with each other about something that came to me in a very strange way. I won't get into it, but basically, we tend to overthink things. I don't know if it's a woman trait or a highly intelligent trait or, something that we all just do naturally. It's a human trait, which is overthinking, which is in the subject that we're talking about with buying real estate is analysis paralysis. Are we doing that to ourselves? Do we have these goals that we talk ourselves out of or overthink it and then it sort of falls to the wayside because we can't make decisions? No, you and I both suffer from this.
I think,
Right?
you know what, I think everybody does, but today it is more related to real estate, of course, right? So
Yeah.
I have seen many people that for years they're looking, they say that I'm gonna buy, and they end up doing nothing. And this is just a fear to make an error. And
Of
the
course.
best way that you could do that if you are not sure is to associate yourself with someone that is doing it. You can get a mentor, you can get somebody that is a friend of yours that is already doing it, because you basically are going to be borrowing their belief. If they're already doing it and you see them do it, you're going to get by kind of osmosis that belief that you could do it as well, right?
Well,
That is
yeah.
the
So
shortest way to fix that.
I agree with you. So yes, hire professionals, and you have two wonderful people right here, right? We're at your disposal to talk to help you along with getting through that analysis paralysis. We're not saying fly by the seat of your pants because we see that a lot too, where people just do crazy stuff and buy real estate and they don't do their numbers. We're not
Yeah,
saying that. We're saying there is a point in time where you have to say, I got to jump now. This is the time to jump.
absolutely.
That's what Araceli is saying. Hiring a professional, hiring somebody that has done this before. They've gone through the analysis paralysis for sure. And how did they get through it? I want to hear from you. How did you get through it? How did you buy your first property where you're like terrified? You don't know what you're doing. You're afraid that it's all going to go in the toilet. There's going to be a sinkhole or earthquake, and it's just going to
Yeah.
from
Well, there, if you go
reality.
through the ifs, what if, there is so many, like so many of them. But
Too many.
the way that I change my mind is what if everything goes right? What if I get some more money, right? And the thing
Amazing.
is, to me, it took me a longer time because I did not have a mentor. So to me, learning from books and videos and all of that, it took a little longer to get that belief that I could do it. But the biggest thing that happened to me is a transition, and I got divorced. That is a big transition that happened to a lot of people. And at that point in time, I was very fearful because I lost the second income coming into my house. My expenses didn't go down that much. I had debt that it was incurred during the marriage, so I inherited half of it. And I didn't know how to move forward. My job was kind of iffy. I switched jobs. So everything was very unstable. And basically what I was looking for, it was a little bit of a stability. And the way that I found it is by acquiring a property, and a property that could give me some money coming in and the ability to have somewhere to live as well, right? So that's kind of was my motivation. I think you do need to figure out your why as well. Why are you doing what you want to do? Why do you want to buy real estate? And your strategy that a mentor can help you with if you're not sure what to do. but you need to be prepared because it takes time to get there. So,
Right, right. Okay, so I also suffer from analysis paralysis. So even buying your own property, so never mind buying an income property, buying your own house. So the fundamentals in life, you need food and you need shelter. So shelter is something that we all need. If you can get something that you can afford and you're comfortable in, that is ultimately, the first house that I bought was all obviously with my husband. We both had analysis paralysis. We were both terrified. We both didn't think we could afford it. All the things that you may be struggling with, or you've heard other people struggling with. And it is a big deal when you're a young person or even an old person. It's this fear of like, I don't want to lose my shirt. I don't want to set myself up for disaster. But exactly what Araceli said, what if everything goes great? What if we have no control over anything anyway? We don't have control over what the market's going to do. We don't have control over mortgage rates, but we know we do the numbers and say, okay, there is the numbers now, but there's also historic numbers. So this is the thing that I convince myself that historically things can't lie. It's already happened. So when you look at that and you analyze the past to say, okay, what's the chances of me losing my shirt in the future? Okay, yeah,
yeah.
of course, things fluctuate. Our government is strong. We'll never like have the rug pulled out from under us that way. We know the way the structure of home buying is. We know that another country can't come in and like take our property. Like, these crazy things that has happened in other countries, years ago, or, whatever historical things you want to look up and make yourself crazy. Don't do that. Like, just look at now, look at the time that when you want to buy, have a plan, like Araceli said. I believe in that. Have a plan B, plan C, even if you feel uncomfortable that things are not going as you like it to be. I'll give you an example of that.
Yeah.
I was just before we started the conversation today, Araceli and I have a little chit chat to say hi, how are you? What's going on? So for example, I buy a cottage. I want to have it for the rest of my life. Maybe plan B means, hey, I gotta sell it. I'm not feeling it anymore. The neighborhood has changed. I'm not getting the income that I want out of it. So then you have a plan B and you can explore that. Maybe not the same day that you decide to buy, but know that it's there. It's never like the only thing you can do.
Well, the biggest thing here, Colette, is also real estate is a very emotional thing for most people. And
Absolutely.
sometimes you really need to remove those emotions from yourself. I just went through that myself when I wanted to keep a property, but I'm not able to. I want to continue doing some flips. So I have decided to sell it. And that was a hard decision for me. But the thing is, the numbers don't lie. And if you put all that in paper, then you can make a more accurate decision, because sometimes I have seen investors that they owned three, four, five properties, but they're so leveraged that they don't have enough cash flow coming in, and what they make in their jobs is not paying for the shortfall. So
Right.
at that point in time, you want to be an investor, you want to have lots of properties, but properties are there to help you. They're not there to hurt you, right? So
Absolutely.
you have to make sure that you understand the numbers, because you have to live today. So we have to eat, we have to have shelter, we have to do everything. There's things that are ongoing expenses that you have to come up with that money.
Yeah.
And also the long term. That's why we're getting into real estate investing, either for legacy or for us to cash that out when we're older. So that
Absolutely.
is super important, that always you're always checking in with the numbers and
Yeah.
what is it for the short future and for the long future.
Well, I would like to add something to that, because you only know what you know. So you can't possibly know everything, and you can't possibly know what's going to happen in the future. So, for example, if you have more than one property and you have children, and you think, okay, I want to protect them in the future and leave them the property. We're talking about legacy. So to say, okay, how do I do this? How do I buy another property? Maybe they can, put their name on something, and we're talking legally. I'm not suggesting to do anything illegal, to do some sort of, scamming or something, but honestly, it's about moving forward with your kids. We talked about shelter, we talked about food. Legacy or leaving something to your children is something else, or helping them in their lives. The bank of mom and dad come into play. How do we do all that stuff? Maybe you need to sell the property now to help them. So there's always some way to slice it, and you can't possibly know every way or what's the best way to do it when you purchase. So, and the other thing too, I hate to, make analysis paralysis even worse, because things come up with the property themselves, and you don't know when you purchase what's going on behind the walls. Maybe something is not so
Yeah.
great. Maybe something is with the property itself, like the land itself. Maybe something is happening in the neighborhood that you really don't foresee, and we can't possibly know what's going to happen. So all these little things, if you overthink, and you'll just be in the same place as you were 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. So
Exactly. So if you
let
don't
us
do
help you.
anything, yeah, if you don't do anything, nothing is going to happen. Of course, we don't ask you to just act impulsively and go and buy anything, but you do need to put stuff on paper. And if it does make sense, also follow your gut feeling. Like,
Yeah,
is this something that looks good? Do I need extra help? And remember, if you always need extra help, it's better to have more eyes on the project than not, especially if you are new and you don't have a lot of experience. So that is the recommendation. But remember, analysis paralysis, it really, it's a detriment to people, and we all suffer from it in several degrees, right? A
yeah,
little bit or a lot. But if you feel that you're in that kind of rut, that you cannot move forward because you cannot make a decision, then it's time for you to seek professionals to help you, if that's what you really want. But I think most importantly is your why. Do you really want to buy real estate? Why do you want to do that? And if that desire is bigger than your fear, that's what you need
absolutely.
to figure out. So,
Absolutely. If this is a goal of yours, it's a dream that you can't imagine that you would ever get there, we're here to support you. Like, this is something that right from the beginning, Araceli said, really use the people that you have to guide you, to help you, to make you feel better about your situation. We're truth tellers. We won't sugarcoat anything. Like, that's, sometimes I talk my clients out of buying something because it doesn't work. It doesn't align with their wants and their beliefs. So don't be afraid of that either. We're here to tell you the truth. And if something really looks good, we'll support you the whole way.
yeah. Okay. So remember, if you are feeling that way and you are stuck and you cannot move forward or make a decision at all to what kind of properties, where to invest, anything at all, then you are suffering from a little bit of analysis paralysis, and you need to stop and seek some professional help. So I hope this helped you. Thank you so much, Colette, for being here.
Well,
And
you know what we're gonna say.
yeah,
Like, subscribe, leave us your notes, leave us your comments, because the show wouldn't be anywhere without you. So please let us know your questions, and we can answer them for you. And probably other people have the same question, right?
absolutely. And if you feel that you have analysis by paralysis, please comment below and let us know why you think you're stopping yourself. Okay?
Sounds good. Yay.
We'll
Thanks,
see you next
everybody.
week.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.